Air Force Reserve Major helps to subdue unruly passenger aboard American Airlines flight trying to rip open the emergency door and enter the cockpit when an Air Force officer comes to the rescue. Who knew an Air Force officer would be able to subdue somebody? That's what I'm asking. So at least one service member helped flight attendants aboard American Airlines Flight 1775. Hell yeah, the year of our Navy and Army being born. On Sunday, as they restrained a passenger who had tried to break into the plane's cockpit and then open an emergency exit mid-air. The Marine Corps was 1775 too, right? November 10th. Air Force Reserve Major Carlos Rojas said he was watching a movie when the passenger, who has not yet been identified by the FBI, began to be disruptive. Rumor has it the movie he was watching was Top Gun, because everyone wishes they were a Navy jet pilot. Rojas said another man sitting near him first noticed that something was wrong. That man, who told Rojas he was an Army officer, tried to help flight attendants subdue the unruly passenger, but it became apparent they needed backup. He came back and actually grabbed me and said, "Hey, I need your help," said Rojas, who was assigned to the 701st Combat Operations Squadron at March Air Reserves, California. And that's kind of how I got involved. So he's sitting there watching a movie. This guy comes up to him and goes, "Psst, I'm in the Army. I think this guy needs to get taken down." And the Air Force guy's like, "Excuse me, I'm watching Top Gun. This is my favorite part where Maverick is playing volleyball." And he goes, "Roger that, hooah. I'm going to go check this out." And he low crawls on the ground over to the guy and he's like, "Hey, chill." And the guy's like, "I won't chill." He goes, "Cool." He backwards low crawls back to the Air Force officer and says, "Hey, we got to get this guy." And the Air Force officer is like, takes off his headphones, puts away his Chardonnay and goes, I guess I'll get involved. Rojas also said he did not get the Army officer's full name and knew him only as Peter. An Army spokesperson confirmed the task and purpose on Monday that the officer is an active duty lieutenant colonel who said he wishes to remain anonymous. When Rojas got to the scene of the fight, the passenger was still trying to open the plane's emergency exit. Rojas said, "At cruising altitude, an aircraft's cabin pressure is higher than the air pressure outside, so the force needed to open an emergency exit mid-flight should require more strength than a human being can provide." Nice. Once Peter grabbed me, I went up to the front and helped him restrain the suspect, if you want to call him that, or the gentleman who was trying to open the door. I like how the Air Force guy is like, I don't think suspect is appropriate. Let's call him gentleman. The flight attendants had done a good job of getting him away from the door, but he was still close to it and the handle was still open. Imagine you're sitting on the emergency exit row and this dude runs up and flips the handle to open. That's a terrifying moment. So as we were restraining the gentleman, one of the flight attendants was able to squeeze by me and shut the door handle. There is a small video here. That sound you heard, it looks like there's just guys kneeling on somebody on the ground, subduing him or holding him. That might be the sound of flex cuffs, or basically like zip tie handcuffs that you heard in the background there. I'm not sure. This does say later in the article that those were used. The plane, which was en route from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., was forced to make an emergency landing in Kansas City, Missouri. Muaz Mustafa, who was on the flight, by the way, guys, that's just a passenger on the flight, tweeted that the plane had to descend sharply at a rate of 5,000 feet per minute, making it feel as though the aircraft was in free fall. During the scuffle, one of the flight attendants struck the disrupted passenger in the head with a coffee pot. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, to subdue the man. That's like some gangster stuff right there. Just grab one of those. You know they have the metal coffee pots on the airplane, right? Because they don't want any glass breaking. Whoop-pow against the head. We knew he was under control once we were able to get him fully restrained with zip tie handcuffs and duct-taped ankles. Once he was restrained, the other passenger, Peter, did a good job of talking to him and keeping him calm. He stopped fighting and just laid there until we landed, although we were still securing him just in case. After the plane landed, the man was taken off the aircraft by police. Federal prosecutors identified the passenger on Monday as Juan Rimberto Rivas, 50 years old. That's kind of old for something like this, who has been charged with assaulting and intimidating a flight attendant and thereby interfering in the performance of the flight attendant's duties. Rivas is currently in custody and his detention hearing has not yet been scheduled. It says, American Airlines has issued a statement expressing its appreciation to the customers who stepped in to assist our crew. Customers? I thought they were passengers. I thought you were always referred to as a passenger. ROAS credits Peter, the Army officer, with taking initiative to help the flight attendants bring the situation under control. It looked like, at least to me, that he had some training in that sort of incident, restraining someone, so I was just really following his lead. At the time of the incident, ROAS was traveling for a civilian job, not for the Air Force. ROAS entered active duty in October 2008, currently serving... Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Did not mean to restart that. ROAS entered active duty in October 2008, and he is currently serving as an operations research analyst, according to the Air Force. His military awards include the Air Force Commendation Medal, all the other stuff. He said he decided to join the Air Force because he wanted to give back. I grew up with my dad, who was never in the military, but always had a large appreciation for the armed services. When I was in school, I didn't know if I wanted to join the military, but I didn't want to not join the military and have any regrets, so I just kind of did on a whim. I love that. I say that all the time. I feel bad for people who are older now and they wished they had served. I feel true pity for that person. So we have one more story today, but that's a shout out to the Air Force for actually doing something cool, which is kind of cool. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that clip from our live show. We're live right here on YouTube, Sunday through Thursday, 1800 Pacific Standard Time. If you want, come on by, join the chat. I'd love to hear from you. If you like that video and you want to see more, consider checking out this video right here or subscribing to the channel with this button right here. I look forward to talking to you really soon. I'm out for now.